I never imagined that one ordinary evening would change the way I saw someone I had known for years. My best friend's mother, Claire, had always been like family to me. She was kind, intelligent, and someone I respected deeply. I had spent countless weekends at their house, sharing meals, laughing at old memories, and listening to her advice. She was never just my friend's mother. She was a person I admired. That night, however, the quiet comfort of familiarity disappeared when she arrived home late, carrying emotions she had been hiding for far too long. Claire sat across from me in the living room, her eyes showing a sadness she tried hard to hide. She talked about loneliness, about years spent caring for everyone except herself. The alcohol had lowered her walls, allowing feelings she had buried to rise to the surface. I listened carefully, not wanting to judge her. She wasn't acting like the woman everyone knew. She was simply someone overwhelmed by pain. The room became strangely quiet as she looked at me differently, as if seeing me for the first time instead of as her son's friend. Before I could understand what was happening, Claire moved closer and tried to kiss me. For a moment, everything froze. I could have reacted with anger or walked away, but I saw the confusion in her expression. She wasn't thinking clearly. The person in front of me was someone vulnerable, someone who would regret her actions once morning arrived. I gently stepped back, keeping my voice calm. I didn't want to embarrass her or make her feel ashamed. I only wanted to stop a moment that could destroy many lives. I looked at her and quietly said, "Claire, I don't want this to happen like this. I want you to be sure of what you feel. If there is something real, I want to know when you are sober." My words surprised her. She looked away and the sadness on her face became deeper. She apologized softly and covered her face with her hands. That night I helped her get some water and made sure she was okay. But I knew the next morning would bring a difficult conversation. The next morning the house felt completely different. The sunlight entered through the windows, but the warmth of the day didn't reach the tension hanging in the air. Claire remembered everything. I could tell from the way she avoided looking at me. She sat quietly at the kitchen table, holding her coffee with both hands. Finally, she apologized for what happened and admitted she was embarrassed. She said she never expected to lose control like that, especially with someone she respected. I told her I understood and that I wasn't there to judge her. Claire explained that for years she had been pretending everything was fine. After her divorce, she became someone who took care of others, but ignored her own emotions. She said everyone saw her as strong, but nobody asked if she was tired. I realized that the woman I knew was carrying a hidden loneliness. Still, I reminded her that feelings mattered, but actions mattered too. Respect had to come before anything else. She listened carefully, and for the first time, we had a conversation based on honesty rather than pretending. Days passed, and things slowly returned to normal. I visited less often because I wanted to give everyone space. My best friend noticed the change and asked if something was wrong. I didn't tell him the truth, because I didn't want to damage his relationship with his mother. Some secrets are not hidden because of dishonesty. Sometimes they are protected because the truth could hurt people who don't deserve the pain. I continued treating Claire with kindness, but I also kept the boundaries that both of us needed. A few weeks later, Claire and I met again. This time there was no alcohol, no confusion, and no hidden emotions. She thanked me for the way I handled that night. She said many people would have taken advantage of the situation, but I chose respect. Her words stayed with me. I realized that sometimes the strongest decisions are not the easiest ones. It wasn't about refusing a moment. It was about protecting something more valuable than a moment. Months went by and the strange tension between us slowly disappeared. Claire became happier not because someone rescued her, but because she finally started choosing herself. She joined new activities, spent time with friends, and stopped hiding behind the image of being perfect. I admired that change. She was no longer just someone I cared about. Because of my friendship with her son, she was a person who had faced her own struggles and grown stronger from them. One evening, Claire and I talked honestly about everything. She admitted that what happened that night wasn't just about attraction. It was about feeling seen after a long time of feeling invisible. I understood that sometimes people mistake loneliness for love, because they desperately want someone to notice them. We both learned something important from that night. Emotions can be powerful, but they need patience and understanding before they become decisions. My friendship with her son remained strong. I never told him about that night, because the situation had changed into something that no longer needed to be shared. Claire had taken responsibility and I had moved forward. Holding on to a painful secret forever would only create more damage. Instead, I chose to remember the lesson. Real maturity is not about never making mistakes. It is about how you handle them afterward. Looking back, I still think about the sentence I said that night. I want to kiss you when you're sober. It wasn't a rejection. It was a reminder that some moments deserve clarity, honesty, and respect. Life often gives us unexpected situations that test who we really are. That night tested my choices, my patience, and my understanding of people. In the end, it wasn't a story about a kiss. It was a story about compassion, boundaries, and the difference between a temporary feeling and something truly meaningful.